The mics are hot, and so's the gossip. Let's get into it in 3.
Welcome to In 3. I'm Danielle Graham.
And I'm Callie.
Jimmy Kimmel's back on the air, and the world didn't end.
What in the world are they even talking about?
I don't know. Apparently, this rapture that was supposed to take place either Tuesday or Wednesday. We made it, by the way.
We made it.
We're okay.
We made it through.
It spawned like rapture talk all over TikTok. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Where people are just like, it's over. Pack it up. It's done.
Like it was giving Y2K and we made it through that.
Yeah. Okay. So apparently the rapture thing came from a South African preacher who said the world was going to end on Tuesday or Wednesday. So it started there and then it really did mushroom into a thing. Now I did have one moment on Tuesday where I was like, well, if this is it, should I do something?
What would you do if it was your last day
I ate a
on
whole
Earth?
bunch of
That's
Nutella
the question.
cookies.
Well,
I was like,
that is one way to spend your time. I love that.
That was the most immediate thing I could think
I would
of.
immediately go to Tim Hortons and get a Timbit. I also wanted to say, now that we're still here, Happy New Year, officially.
Thank you.
It is the Jewish New Year. Shana Tova to everybody listening.
Shana Tova to you.
We eat apples and honey to celebrate a sweet New Year. So now that we've made it through to the New Year, I thought I would offer you one.
Don't mind if I do.
An apple and honey. What could be better other than
combo.
a Timbit?
Thank you.
I guess a Timbit could represent a sweet New Year. I'm doing that next year.
That is delightful.
I know. This is a good apple.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody. It's going to be a big one for us. I know that.
It is. Sweet indeed.
And it might be a big one for Adele.
Yes.
Because I'm hearing talks that she is now in the running for the Super Bowl halftime show.
Excuse me. Who's ever talking to Adele and sending out these rumors? Do they not know it's Taylor Swift? Do they not know that the sourdough and Sam and everything else and all the Easter eggs have told us it's Taylor Swift and it's not Adele?
Well, I
know.
have a different opinion.
Okay, tell me. Because no, I don't disagree. It's the names out there.
No. But I mean, I think it was Taylor.
Oh.
And I think we've been talking about like what the most embarrassing worst case scenario that could happen is that Taylor's there the day of the Super Bowl and Travis is not playing.
Yeah, he's in the audience.
We know he hasn't had a great start to the season. Is it possible that Taylor said, you know what, maybe this year's not the best year and maybe we should sit this one out and hop on the train next year when Travis has retired, just in case?
It's not implausible. It does say undertone.
Yeah.
I don't have all the confidence in you.
Right.
But it is a safer bet. Now,
not just I don't have confidence in you, but that all of the hype is getting in the way of his ability to play effectively. And maybe I do believe in you without all the noise. So let me step back. The way that we kind of thought it would be from the beginning.
Yes. I know. I think you're right. It's possible because the Super Bowl halftime performer is announced in September. We are nearing the end of the month.
Shoot.
So we're going to have to find out sooner than later.
Yeah.
And it will be announced sooner than later because they want to get people hyped and, you got to get all those wheels in motion. As for Adele, she is married to or engaged to one of the biggest sports agents. She claims that she was offered the Super Bowl halftime show in 2017. And at that time, she said, I mean, that show is not about music. I can't dance or anything like that. They were very kind. They did ask me, but I said no. So Adele knows why Adele isn't the right fit for the Super Bowl. I don't think she's the right fit for the Super Bowl. I want bangers, bops, choreo, midriffs. I want
marching
sparkle.
bands.
Yes. I want someone coming in from the roof on a zip line. I want pyro.
Right.
Adele is more like a sexy date night. I can't eat chicken wings and nachos and watch Adele. Do you know what I mean? I need it to be
I think if
poppier.
You went through her Rolodex or her catalog, she has so many bangers. They might not be dancing bangers, but there's still opportunity to have dancers doing like little interludes and things like this. An opportunity for tons of pyro, set fire to the rain.
Okay, fair. Fair.
And rain and fire and all the things. Zero disrespect for Adele.
No, none whatsoever. Love.
A minor disrespect to Travis really is what's going on here.
That's really is what's going on.
I don't know. Like, stand by your man. And I think she's just like, babe, it's too much.
It's a little bit too much. Maybe we
need to dial it back. He's getting like, what is he? He's getting fined because he's doing like lewd gestures. He's losing. He's falling apart. He's he's coming apart.
Well, as you said, let's just release the pressure valve a little bit.
Slightly.
And if this is the one thing we can do to release the valve, then that's what I think is happening. That's what a good partner would do.
Because I don't think that Taylor would have breadcrumbed it if she didn't at the time think it was 100% happening.
Yes.
So I think something has shifted, and the only thing I can put my finger on is that Travis has lost his mind a little bit.
Not a great start.
Hasn't been a great start
to this season.
No.
Let's get to Nina Dobrev because
I'm obsessed.
Took a hot minute for this girl to find herself on a yacht in Italy, and I love it.
I mean, I need to slow clap for Nina's friends.
You're right.
She has some good freaking friends. First of all, very, very clear what side everybody's on.
Yes.
And not that there was a doubt, but it's like Miles Teller and Keely Teller, his wife, who were very close friends with Nina and Sean. They were couple friends. Yeah. And now these are the friends that took her to Italy, it seems.
Yes.
To a wedding they were going to. Chartered a yacht for her.
Yeah.
You know, this is the handbook for friendship when your girl is down and out. So it's very clear that they chose her side. And
they don't know Shaun White anymore.
No, we don't know.
We don't know him.
We lost his number. He's blocked, delete.
Bye.
And they are doing what good friends do, which is to charter a yacht and fix her up with their hottest single friend,
Zac Efron.
Right.
Which, by the way, I think did you see that Zac Efron ad, the Prada ad, where he's so tanned and he looks a little bit AI and strange? He didn't look like that on the yacht, so I was really happy to see that. Yeah. He looks like cutie Zac Efron, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Ish?
Yeah.
No?
I mean, I feel like he's had some kind of face transplant, but like, I still approve of this hookup.
I do too. Mm-hmm. And obviously we're not getting into another romance here.
This is not a long-term thing.
This is a good time, not a long time.
A hookup at a wedding and on a yacht in Italy.
Well publicized for Shaun White to see wherever the hell he is.
Which is
it is perfect.
No notes.
Because it was a couples thing. As you said, it was Miles Teller and his wife. It was Chase Crawford and his partner. And it was Zac Efron and Nina Dobrev.
Yes.
6 people, 4 of which are in a couple, 2 of which are single. You do the math.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I loved it so much.
She looked so good. She looked so happy. And you're right. Kudos to those friends.
Okay, so last week when we talked about the breakup, I said what this girl needs to do is get on the whiteboard.
Yes.
And if you've been listening, you know about the whiteboard. The whiteboard is a physical whiteboard that I brought out a couple weeks ago to demonstrate the 6 degrees of romance of young Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's more like 2 degrees. Okay. Right. So it's like the Jacob Elordis, it's the Austin Butlers, it's the Zoe Kravitzes, it's all of those people who all keep just swapping partners to make this beautiful kind of web of hotness.
Of gorgeous people.
I said, Nina needs to get on the whiteboard for her rebound. So as I was thinking about this, and I was like, okay, Zac Efron, interesting. What I was thinking more towards like an Austin Butler.
Right.
But then I was like, looking at the whiteboard because I haven't wiped it since I made that whiteboard a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And last night I'm sitting there looking at the whiteboard and I'm like, oh my God, she is on the whiteboard.
Eureka.
One moment, please.
Okay. The whiteboard's back, everybody. I love the whiteboard. I also love Callie maneuvering this giant whiteboard into our set.
Okay. So I was trying to figure out how our girl...
This is my favorite part.
How our girl gets on the whiteboard. And I was like, oh, maybe she's just in on her own over here. No. Name Austin Butler's longtime ex-girlfriend.
Kaya Gerber?
No.
Sorry. Long time. Just a second. Vanessa Hudgens. It took me a hot minute. Oh my God, Zac Efron.
Austin Butler, right in the middle of our whiteboard.
Yeah.
Most long-term ex is
Vanessa Hudgens.
And who did Vanessa date long term before that in an iconic Disney romance?
None other than Zac Efron. That's right. High School Musical. Is that what this was? That's where the romance started,
Which leads us to our girl.
She did
Nina.
it. She did it. Wow.
And the whiteboard lives on.
This is some of your best work.
Here she is.
Don't actually never wipe this thing.
I don't think I can.
No, I don't think you can either.
So here we are. Austin to Vanessa to Zach to Nina.
She's in the fold.
I rest my case.
Well done. You did it again. You somehow managed to get her on that whiteboard. Well done. I love it.
I really manifested that.
Yes, you did. And I love to see her out there. I love to see her happy and thriving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same.
Great job.
Yes.
And great job, you.
Thank you.
Also, great job, Harry Styles.
Dear Lord.
Wow. You know how I love Harry.
I know you do.
I love this man so much. And I love how he lives his life.
Yeah.
Like, he really does lean into trying to be as normy as humanly possible. And he did that once again. Past weekend, he ran the Berlin Marathon.
Yes.
In a fantastic time, so I'm told. I know nothing about marathons. I have no point of reference, but
very impressive time. He ran a sub 3-hour marathon.
Yeah. It's amazing.
He is a marathoner. He ran the Tokyo Marathon earlier this year. And to all those who run, you'll know, he shaved off almost 30 minutes of time, which in running time is significant.
Even I know that's a lot.
And even if you weren't trying to be getting a competitive time, marathon running is a huge time investment, which is why, like, I'm not interested. Ain't nobody got time for that. You have to run like many hours a week to train just for a marathon period. But then to train for a marathon at this level, the amount of running he's had to do while he's been on this whirlwind romance with Zoe Kravitz.
Yes.
So I'm like, when did he have time for this? It feels like it's so hot and heavy, and like, you know, that early stage of a romance when you just like they clearly can't keep their hands off each other.
Right.
They can't be away from each other. They're following each other around the world, basically. And in the midst of all this, he's had time, energy, and willpower to go for these like 2-3 hour runs multiple times per week. I love it.
I do too. It's possible, you know, they're having a really fun night and he's like, babe, I got to get to bed.
Exactly.
Like, it's 9 p.m. I have to run first thing in the morning.
I literally have to run.
I love the dedication. I love the commitment. I love how, you know, we saw him in Rome when the new Pope was announced, just acting like a normal person in a crowd. Now we've seen him again doing the same thing. He took photos with some people.
Yeah.
He was otherwise in disguise. Like, you really couldn't tell unless you knew.
Yeah.
And he did have a pseudonym.
Yes.
His name was Stead Sarandos?
Yeah.
Stead Sarandos. Sarandos, maybe?
yeah.
Maybe. I would love to know the meaning behind it.
Well, I think I know.
What?
It is a play on the name of the head of Netflix, who's Ted Sarandos.
Oh.
So people are wondering if he is taking a page out of Taylor's books and breadcrumbing that he has some kind of documentary coming out.
I mean, please. Yes, please.
That's what people are wondering, is if this pseudonym is a breadcrumb or an Easter egg for something he has coming out on Netflix in the coming year.
Okay. All right. What a show.
Yeah.
The big three, we are going to start with Jimmy Kimmel.
Right.
What a week for Jimmy Kimmel.
Seriously.
Wow.
Yes.
Lots to talk about there. Victoria Beckham. I love VB.
VB. I love her so much.
She's a cover girl this month. She's got a new Netflix show coming out.
Yes.
And we're learning more about not only her relationship with David and their family, but also her business and her rise to, you know, fashion supremacy, which was
fashion and beauty.
Yeah.
I am a big fan.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Can't wait to hear that. We're going to talk about Reese Witherspoon and Jen Aniston.
Yes.
These two besties are on the circuit promoting season 4 of The Morning Show. And I've loved everything they have given us so far. And I have lots to say about, you know, this beautiful friendship that they've formed. I think it's quite lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then finally.
Yeah, finally we have to talk about Matthew McConaughey. All right.
I want to just say, when we were lining up the show and talking about topics, you called him a lovable weirdo.
Yeah.
And there is really no more perfect description for him.
Yeah.
He is a lovable weirdo.
Yeah, lovable weirdo.
Yes.
Like, he's not, but he seems perpetually stoned. I think he's just perma-fried. Remember when he was arrested with the bongos?
Yes. Yeah, of course he was.
He tells a story about how he once was so high he missed his own birthday party and listened to a Janet Jackson song, That's the Way Love Goes, 32 times in his car.
Yeah. Just
Like,
got so ripped.
This is just who he is.
Yeah. And then
he is an authentic beauty.
He is.
Yeah.
Played that song over and over and over again for so many hours that he literally missed his birthday. But only Matthew McConaughey could do that.
Only he.
Yeah. So he's sharing a lot, and I can't wait to unpack that with you.
Yeah.
All right. Jimmy Kimmel is back.
He's back.
He's back.
I was going to say like he never left, but not at all true. He's back like
he really did leave.
Yeah, like he left and people were happy for his return.
Yeah, they were. And it was a big return to his slot on Tuesday night after being suspended indefinitely. So we didn't know when this was going to happen, if this was going to happen, if he himself wanted to come back, because I questioned that.
Yeah.
But in fact, he did.
For sure.
And I think that he did a beautiful job of his monologue. I think it was evident when we heard him speak that the terms of coming back were, I'm going to say what I want to say.
Yeah.
And you are not going to force an apology, and I am not going to kowtow to the pressures. If I'm coming back, it's on my terms. And I think that was very clear in the way he addressed everything that has taken place in the last week.
You're right. It was really clear that he was, going to come back, like you said, on his own terms. But what I've always loved about Jimmy, and I'm not a late night girly, like literally not a late night girly. Like I'm in bed at 9. So, I caught this on my PVR.
Yeah.
But when I have seen clips of him and what I know of Jimmy and what I know of his friendships, with Jen Aniston and all of these people that we know that he's super close with, he's really known to be a really, really good person.
Yep.
And the clips that I've seen of him over the years, he wears his heart on his sleeve. Like, yes, he's an irreverent comedian, and obviously he stands on one side of the political spectrum and makes it known. And his job is to tell jokes about the world and current affairs and politics and things. And that's the late night host job across the board. He's not, reinventing the wheel. This is like Johnny Carson. Like, this is how it's been.
This is the gig.
But all of these sort of watershed moments for him that we've seen, I've seen him shed a lot of tears actually over the years. He's someone that is so vulnerable and raw. Like his emotions are just on beneath the surface.
Yeah.
He did make one apology, and that was to anyone who felt like he spoke ill of Charlie Kirk.
That's right.
Or said anything to do with that death not being a terrible tragedy.
Yes.
And I believe him.
I do too.
I believe him, and I never thought he did. But if there was any doubt about where he stood on the death of a human being, of a father, of a person, he really he started crying.
He did.
He choked up.
He said, it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
Yeah.
And you're right. Those feelings were just right there in the back of his throat all along.
They kind of always are. And again, I'm not a late night person, but I've always loved that about him. And when people do speak about him, his friends and the people that know him in the industry, Andy Cohen and Jen Aniston, they always talk about what a good dude he is.
Yep.
And that rang so loudly for me when I watched his monologue.
I completely agree. Yeah. And I think also when he spoke about Charlie Kirk's widow,
right,
and the way she forgave the man who killed her husband,
yeah,
and the grace that showed and the forgiveness, he choked up again there.
Yeah.
It was really beautiful as well. And you could tell he was deeply impacted by this.
Yeah.
As you said, his job is to comment on the world and the things that are happening.
Yeah.
what was really deep and meaningful for him was the loss of this life. And it was very evident in his monologue that this was not something he was unaffected by. He was clearly very, very upset and very rattled that happened to Charlie Kirk and to his family.
Yes.
And I think that came through, as you said, in a very genuine, you could not fake that kind of emotion. And he's not an actor either, right? He's a comedian. And I think it was very obvious that his heart was in all of that.
Yeah.
I thought I appreciated some of the levity that he added when he said, I'm not sure who had a weirder 48 hours, me or the CEO of Tylenol, which I thought, we needed that little break, I think, in it as well.
Hilarious.
And I also thought it was great that he said, this show isn't important, which was, wow, what a thing to say and what a moment to have, like, wow, you're right. Like the whole world was up in arms. The show isn't important.
No.
But, what is important is getting to live in a country where you're allowed to have a show like this and you're allowed to speak in the way that is free. And I thought that was a really a beautiful period on the whole thing. Like, yes, of course, this was something we were talking about and people were up in arms and we were shocked and He's like, but really it's this is the thing.
Yeah. And I think, there has been such an immense response from what has gone on over the last week. Like when I saw that they had canceled the show indefinitely, like my heart just sank because I was like, oh my God, it's happening. This thing that everyone's sort of been warning us about is happening. And in our lives, we've never seen censorship like this. And working in the industries that we do and, being women who sit in these exact seats every week and speak our truth, and to have that be threatened in such a visceral way, in such a high profile way, was really scary for me. And I think the whole world felt the same way. And even those on the, quote unquote, opposing side, many of them also stood up and said, we can't be doing this.
No, we don't agree with you. We cannot be doing this.
I don't like you.
I don't like your politics.
Your show. I think you're stupid. I wish you would get canceled because you're stupid.
Right.
But you shouldn't be canceled because of what you said and us disagreeing with you.
Exactly.
And I just think that I never expected this to be the thing that sort of unifies the world.
Yeah.
But I felt like that in itself felt reassuring that most people, no matter what side of the fence you stand on, we're like, no, not on my watch.
Yeah.
Trump is still saying like he has no ratings. He's a loser.
Right.
And
we're going to sue Disney again.
Yeah. And Jimmy playing that clip and saying, he had no ratings until today because holy crap.
I know.
Jimmy Kimmel has never been more famous. This is the ultimate backfire.
This is amazing.
And the same thing happened with Colbert, because as you guys already know, Colbert has actually been canceled.
Yes.
They say it's because his contract was up and because the ratings were bad, but we all know that it all started because Trump was unhappy with the things that went down. And so Colbert was canceled. What happened to Colbert? He gets a standing ovation at the Emmys.
Exactly.
He's never been more famous either. So Jimmy Kimmel, 15 million views on YouTube so far.
In a day. Not even a day.
In a day. Is crazy.
It is.
And ultimately he's going to, I think Jimmy Kimmel his career will benefit from this.
I think so too. And no one could have predicted this, because you're right. Those late night shows, they're not appointment TV. They're there. They're a little bit sleepy. Sometimes there's a moment you might see on your social media the next day. But what a way to reinvigorate a show that he was considering leaving. There's been lots of reports for a long time that his contract is up in 2026.
Yeah.
And he was really considering stepping away. I mean, he's been at it a long time.
Yep.
At a certain point, you're probably like, what more could I do here? But now he's this guy with this whole new purpose and platform and eyeballs
and support
and like the celebrity support has been incredible for him. As you said, a well-connected, well-liked guy. So Jimmy Kimmel's just like, okay, I guess I'm sticking around, because truthfully, when I saw this happen to him, and Disney and ABC they didn't cancel the show. They put it on an indefinite hiatus.
Right.
Which I thought meant it's over.
We're done.
I really did think it was
because
done.
of what happened to Colbert.
That's right.
This didn't seem so far from the pattern that we've been watching unfold.
Not at all. And I thought indefinite hiatus means we're not coming back.
Right.
And I also thought if I'm Jimmy Kimmel, maybe I don't want to go back because you, my employer, certainly didn't have my back here. You hung me out to dry to a bully. And I'm out here, the face of this thing, and you guys said, you know what? No, we're gonna have to park it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, he's not gonna do this. How could you come back? He did say he came back. One of the main reasons was for the crew and the hundreds of people that work on that show and their livelihoods that would be affected. And ultimately, we know the state of television isn't fantastic. So if those people were to lose this steady job they've had on the Jimmy Kimmel show, it would be devastating. And where do you go?
Yeah.
It's not as though we're, TV's making a lot of this type of content. So I really admired that as well. I deeply admired a lot of the celebrities that stood with him and signed the ACLU letter in solidarity.
Yes.
And I mean, like all of the big names, the Meryl Streeps, the Tom Hanks, the Robert De Niro's. But Mark Ruffalo, for me, I was like, you know what, Mark Ruffalo? I've always loved you. He's always been such a great guy. He is, as we know, a huge part of the Disney world. He is a Marvel star. Mm-hmm. And he went on to say, there was a post that went out on social media about the hit Disney stock took after this indefinite hiatus. And at that point, Disney's stock had dropped 7% after suspending Jimmy Kimmel. Mm-hmm. And he said it's going to go down a lot further if they cancel his show. Disney does not want to be the one that broke America. And I'm like, this is a man biting the hand that feeds him. And he says, I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing the thing that's the right thing, which is sometimes the hard thing. And I always admire people that do that.
Yeah.
That don't say, you know what, it's not great for business for me.
Right.
To get involved here because I kind of love this like big franchise I'm a part of and this really steady, very large paycheck.
Yes.
He's like, you know what? No, it's wrong. And I love that. And I admire that. And anybody that has that type of integrity for me, top tier.
Yeah, I agree. And anyone who went and canceled their Disney subscription to make a point, I have a lot of respect for. I think there can be this sort of like complacency of like,
course.
What does my vote
What
matter?
difference do I make?
What difference do I make? And the truth is, a $6.4 billion difference.
Yeah.
The stock from Disney dropped $6.4 billion in a week.
Yeah.
And that is thanks to all of the people that stood up for Jimmy and for censorship and for free speech.
Yes.
And I think that that's an amazing thing that that the world in America came together to have that impact because it starts with one person.
It does. And hallelujah and amen, as we love to say, because I really was worried there. I thought, oh my God, this does give me some comfort and peace knowing that for now, the good guys won.
For now, the good guys won. We love to see it. I think it'll be interesting to see how people express themselves, especially on these big platforms and in these big networks.
Yep.
Whether there will be a shift one way or the other. Like, will people sort of dial it back a little bit while things are hot? Mm-hmm. Or is Jimmy coming back, giving them license to kind of get bolder and braver?
Go for it.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
That's a good point.
In the near future.
Yeah. Do you just swing for the fences now?
I really do think this is a very... it's a moment in time that we will remember in pop culture and political history.
Yeah.
A real moment that will be stamped into history.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And really a moment of deep purpose for Jimmy Kimmel.
For sure.
Beyond, entertaining and making people laugh. Look at this. Look at this purposeful event that took place.
Yeah.
And the way people came together.
Yeah, and he really killed it.
Yeah,
you gotta
he did.
give him credit, and his writers and his team and all of those people. I'm glad they're back.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to our girl, Victoria Beckham.
Yeah, let's do it.
Guys, I just love.
You love a Beckham.
I flippin' love a Beckham. David first, but I really do love Victoria. So she is the Elle cover girl.
Yes. I was going to say everybody loves the Beckhams except Brooklyn, who wants to be a Peltz.
You're so right. And I'm glad you mentioned that because, this was a cover article And she talked about the closeness of their family and how, the family values are so important and how they're a very traditional family, and they cultivated that 6 p.m. dinner time, and it was really important to them. Mm-hmm. Now, there is some subtext within the article
there's an elephant.
About the rift, and it's just not talked about. It's not talked about. No. And it's not as though this interview was done so long ago where the rift wasn't happening. We've been rifting for a very long time. So I'm glad to know that she still feels like they're a very close family.
Yeah.
Even if
you got to manifest.
You got to manifest.
The family you want, not the family you have.
Exactly. And she is coming out with a Netflix series, a 3-part series. At the top of October.
I can't wait.
This is the type of show we need from Netflix. This is what we want. I don't want any more decorative edible flowers,
right?
And fake
I was
kitchens.
Gonna say.
Give us this, because their Netflix show in 2023 was incredible, where we saw Victoria lie about being working class. Be honest,
hilarious,
the best. So this is what we want from Netflix. I can guarantee you this will be a number one show, top 10 for sure, but I think number one show when it comes out that week.
Yeah. And I think, if we're talking about the other elephant in the room, which is like, listen up, Meghan and Harry, like this is the realness and sort of like the authenticity that we're looking for. Victoria was always known to be this kind of like serious girl, especially as she entered into her fashion era, like kind of grumpy, serious. She once played into it by wearing a t-shirt that said "Fashion stole my smile." But the truth is, and more we're seeing the Beckhams on social media being playful, being fun. In David's documentary, we saw that fun moment. And she says, what they're really looking forward to is exposing more of that sort of fun, authentic side of their family.
Yes.
And actually, I was going to say, because for anyone who actually follows Victoria, she's so funny on social media.
She is.
And she and David really troll each other in a way that is very familiar to me because it reminds me of one Danielle and Randall.
Love a good marriage troll.
She trolls him for his gardening.
Yeah.
She's trolled him for accidents with his hair where he like accidentally clipped a bald spot. And she talks about the fact that like this documentary will show more of that. And that's what we want to see.
That's what we want to see.
So I hope that the Duchess and Duke are paying attention.
Yes, please. What I found interesting, and I don't know if she's being honest. Be honest. She said when she was approached to do this documentary, because this is about Victoria.
Yes.
There will be obviously David in there, but this is the focus. The focus of it is her story.
Yeah.
She said, I didn't understand why anybody would want to watch this. Like I didn't get it. So I said no, because who would want to see this?
Right.
Victoria.
Come on,
girl.
You're not fooling anyone.
You're not fooling anybody.
No. I think it's really cute. She obviously is also, she has a fashion brand, which is going to be the focus of the doc. Mm-hmm. But she's also branched into beauty. And she does all these makeup videos now on her social media.
Yeah.
And they're not perfect.
No.
They actually out her in this article for saying that she doesn't even own a ring light. And, my mom is a budding beauty influencer.
Has she used the VB products?
She has.
Okay.
And she actually bought one for me. Because Lord knows I can't afford it. First of all, the foundation that she's been launching and has been doing a lot of press about the complexion products.
Years of formulation.
I am wearing it right now.
Your skin looks amazing.
I am obsessed. She does beauty very well. But how she spoke about kind of like trying to figure out technology and sort of like doing her best on social and just trying to figure that out. It kind of reminded me of my mom.
Yeah.
My mom's also like putting herself out there on social media, doing all these makeup videos. She doesn't really know exactly, but she's giving it a good try and she's, faking it till she makes it.
I love it.
And it really reminded me of that.
Hi, Izan. I love your beauty content.
We love it.
It's
and
so cute.
The highest compliment to be compared to Victoria Beckham.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I just think that her sort of showing this imperfect side of herself is really like a nice transition.
Yeah. A little less control.
A little less control.
Yeah. I didn't realize until she mentioned it. She was only a Spice Girl for 4 years.
When I read that, my jaw, I can't tell you. I felt the same way.
I felt like it was like in eternity.
Well, she will always and forever be a Spice Girl.
That's it. So she said, she's really defined by that Spice Girl era, but it was only 4 years. She's been in the fashion business for nearly 2 decades.
Yeah.
But yet the one thing that defines her so much is the Spice Girl. That could not have been 4 years. That was like the fastest 4 years ever then.
I know. I had to look it up to be like,
no.
Right. It is.
Wild, but she will always be a Spice Girl.
She will always be.
It's honestly not to compare myself to Victoria Beckham, but for a lot of people, I will always be the girl from YTV.
Right.
It is like such a defining part of my career.
Yes.
More than the other things I did.
Yeah.
That's my Spice Girl.
And how long were you there?
4 years.
Yeah. I loved also her talking about her marriage with David.
Yeah.
They've been together married 28 years, which in real world, not Hollywood terms, but real world terms is like the equivalent of like 1,000.
It is.
Like,
and in marriage is
it's not easy.
It's not easy.
And they've been through it.
They have indeed.
Yes.
And she did share. What did you love?
I just loved how she talked about, the reason for the success of their marriage and the reason why they're still together is because they've evolved together, and you're not the same person at 50 as you were at 20.
Yep.
And if you can at least just try to, take that evolution as a pair, that's kind of the secret. And she also said that at all the times when no one else would bet on her, David, he backed her financially, he backed her emotionally, he validated her ideas, and he told her that she could, and he stood by her. And that, to me, in a marriage is critical.
It is. That is the cornerstone of a very strong relationship.
Yeah.
I did love in the trailer for the documentary, which is leading up to this huge fashion show she's doing, like the biggest thing she's done in her career. Mm-hmm. And she's nervous and she's anxious and everyone's going to be there. And he said, "We'd be proud of you for just making a ham and cheese sandwich." Aww. And she was like, "Well, let's be honest, I wouldn't do that very well.
I can't do that."
Which I loved. But I think that's really true. He's like, we're proud of you for everything that you are.
Yeah.
You don't need to do this to earn our pride.
Yeah.
And I think that's really beautiful. I don't know. I just love them. I really hope the family can heal.
Can figure it out.
Because they really are. In terms of a celebrity family, they've figured things out. They are goals for so many reasons, save for this, last year. It's been a challenging one.
I know. They will find their way back to each other if that means that Brooklyn needs to get a divorce, or I don't know. But I know that at the end of the day, they'll find their way back to each other.
I believe so.
But it's really unfortunate that he's missing out on this time with his family.
That's a really good point.
I feel like that's really sad. And life is short. The rapture could be any minute.
Right. Could be next Tuesday or Wednesday.
It could
be off by a week. Yeah.
It could be off by a week.
Listen, I don't know that I'm ready, but it is what it is.
This was a fun article, and I cannot wait for this documentary.
No, this is appointment TV for me.
Appointment.
Can't wait.
Yes.
Also appointment TV for me right now.
Yes.
The Morning Show.
Are you watching?
Yes, I love this show.
Okay, yes,
don't you
me too.
love this show?
I do.
I've loved this show from frame 1, second 1, episode 1. It's so good. They are so good. They are so, right on the pulse of what's happening culturally.
It's actually kind of crazy.
It's a little bit
and
crazy.
A little creepy.
Like how?
How do they know?
And at the center of it is Jen and Reese Witherspoon, who have been making the rounds promoting the show.
Yes.
I just love seeing these two together. Mm-hmm. I love their friendship. I love their honesty. I love, them talking about, their history. Reese Witherspoon guested on Friends 20 years ago. She played Rachel Green's little sister Jill, and that's where their friendship was born. And they shared how at that time Reese was a new mom. Like, she was a young mom with a small child, brought the baby to set, and Jen was so welcoming and so warm. And that's really that kindness that she was extended in a world of Hollywood, which is not kind.
No.
Really was the precipice of a friendship that they kind of called back later in life. I don't know that they were close the whole time, but they really have become like besties.
Yeah.
It really is sweet.
It's not giving besties for me.
It's not.
No.
What's it giving for you?
I think there's a great amount of respect.
Okay.
Which I love. And that really rings true for me. It's not giving the same as like Jen and Sandy.
Okay.
For me, this is giving business besties who have a very successful brand, this morning show brand. I don't know. Maybe I just like to
don't think they're hanging out on the weekends.
They're not hanging out on the weekends.
Okay.
I don't think. And truly, like, if I were to invite one of them, like, if I were to be like, let's invite them here, I'd be like, let's just invite Jen.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You're not vibing Reese right now?
Not right now. Like, in general, I just don't find that, like, her energy is necessarily the energy that I would want in a bestie.
Okay.
I think, agreed, she is probably an amazing business partner.
Oh, God,
because she's very on it. She's obviously extremely type A. I think her energy is through the roof.
Okay.
And as we know, Jen's energy is, especially these days, she's all about serenity. She's about
laid back
crystals. She's about calm. She's about stability. So I don't know. I mean, listen, here's what Jen said about Reese in the Glamour article. When she was asked about Reese, she said, that little worker bee, she's so busy. And when she was asked about sort of like their relationship throughout the year, she said, we always throw out texts to each other throughout the year when we're not working together, just to check in on each other. So a few texts a year to check in on each other. She says, you know, we have a lot of trust in each other. She says, you'll take this one and I trust you in that department to make all the decisions you have to make. So it was really giving
a line.
It was giving, you know, in business, there's a great amount of respect and trust. And then when Reese was asked about Jen, and when they read that quote to her, she said, yes, it did take us 4 seasons to get to this place. Season 1, season 2, we were finding each other's work rhythms, but it's very much a respectful work dynamic. So anyways, all to say, I could be reading between the lines, but what it's telling me is they didn't have this close of a relationship in the first few seasons of Morning Show, but they've come to a place where they're really great at working together. They respect each other very much in their professional domains, and that, you know, they check in throughout the year. That's not how I am with my closest friends. Right. But I have friends people that I'm acquaintances with that I admire greatly, that I will check in on birthdays, or when I see them accomplish something big, or if something's going on in the world, I'll shoot a text and be like, hey, you good? Or congrats, or whatever it is. And that's
not the inner circle. You're saying not inner circle.
Not inner.
Oh, I was thinking this was inner circle.
Sorry. I mean, you can still think that.
You make a very good point. I think it's because Reese said that when Jen opened up that door of kindness and everything, she was able to go to her when she had these public breakups and public splits. Like she said that. So I thought, oh, then this has got to be.
Maybe that is.
Maybe it is.
I'm just a crusty bitch.
No, you're not. You are discerning, and you are very, you're picking up a little nuance.
Something.
And yeah, we haven't heard about Reese at a dinner. You know that Jen has these Sunday dinners that she hosts.
She definitely has her inner circle.
She does,
right?
But they're also at a different place in their lives now too. So if 4 years ago, I was a different person than I am today. So maybe they're both dating civilian men.
Totally.
And maybe Reese has like relaxed a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe we've seen a little, because she did, you know, she had some pretty tumultuous years there as well.
Yeah.
Difficult years, an abusive relationship she talked about.
We think that's Ryan.
I think it is. I figured it was Ryan Phillippe. No,
that's what I was reading.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was anybody else.
No.
And having children and then, you know, having another child with somebody else who was younger, and the difference in parenting and how, like, all of that.
Yeah.
And really had to rebuild her self-worth because it was so broken by this abusive relationship, and she believed all these terrible things this person said about her. So it probably did create like a little what is like a vibrating personality of like, no, I got to get it all done. Maybe now she's just kind of like, maybe she's softening a little bit. I do really love what Reese is doing for women and their stories.
Absolutely.
And I think it really is amazing what she's created with Hello Sunshine. Their entire mission is to promote female stories and women-led stories.
100%.
And I think that's amazing because both Reese and Jen, the generation above them, did not come from a place of we support
women.
each other.
Yeah.
No, it's I have to kill you. You're my enemy.
There's
You're
one
dead.
spot.
There's one spot.
Do
it's
or
mine.
die.
I'll hurt you if I have to.
Yeah.
And I think that they've really forged their own path in recognizing there's space for all of us.
I agree.
And there's space for all of us when we support. And I think they've set a really great example for the next generation.
Absolutely.
And for their peers of like, hey, we can be different.
Yeah.
And we can work well together, and we can create space for others. And the fact that that's what they're doing, I love.
Okay, I feel like an asshole.
No,
but
I love when we have a different lens on things.
Yeah,
I think that's what makes our show so interesting.
I think Reese is making a massive impact on the industry and her stance on women and supporting female talent and all of that is a wonderful thing. And I think she's an incredible leader in the industry. Yeah. I was just like picking up a little bit of like, I know they're making the rounds, and it's very sweet to see them. And we never get to see this kind of caliber of star, especially females, together in 1 minute.
Oh my God. Yeah.
You know, at the same time. It's kind of giving like a millennial or like Gen X, like Wicked.
Yeah.
It's kind of giving like Ariana and Cynthia, but like
there was
older
a couple
Gen.
handholds.
Yeah. There was like, you know, there's that cuteness between them. I don't know. I
agree. When you hear things like, I respect them, it doesn't say, I love them.
That busy worker beat, it was just, I don't know. There was something there that I was picking up that wasn't like, I die for this woman. This is my best friend. We talk every day. I cannot live without her.
Yes.
And that's also okay to have friendships like that. Like it doesn't diminish the respect that they have for each other and the care that they have for each other over the years. And I'm sure Jen has been like a bit of a big sister to her, and that's a beautiful thing. And I think Jen is a very generous soul like that. Like,
I think so too.
And it is great to see that. I was just thinking,
well, I love your takes. You know that. You know that. Let's hear from you all. What do you think?
Yeah.
Did you read? Did you hear? Are you watching these interviews? What are you picking up with this Reese Witherspoon, Jen Aniston friendship?
There's one more thing that I learned about this week about Jen that I didn't know about, and I don't know if you do, but did you know she has a 4-part book deal for children's books?
No.
She's just released a new children's cookbook called Cook with Clydeo, a cookbook for kids, 35 easy recipes for families who want to make easy, delicious dinners.
Please add to cart now.
But it's just an unusual, because I mean, not that she can't love children, and we know that she has children in her life that
Absolutely.
You know, she treats like her own family. But it just feels like, I didn't know this.
Of all the business opportunities.
Seems random. A
little bit.
But okay.
Yeah, because she went into like the hair care kind of product part.
Yes.
Like there's lots of opportunities when you have that kind of platform.
Yeah.
She went that way. This does feel a little bit, of all the things that could be presented to Jen Aniston, of all the ways you could lend your name.
There's Smart Water, there's P-Volve, there's...
there's P-Volve. I forgot that.
There's the hair care, and now there's children's cookbooks. So,
okay.
All right.
Well, the pitch won her over. Somebody had a great pitch.
Someone did.
She went for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of books, we have to talk about Matthew McConaughey.
Indeed.
And his new book called Poems and Prayers. Okay?
Yeah.
It's a collection of prayers he's written over 36 years. Some of the subjects include, are you ready?
No.
Hollywood, love, faith, fatherhood, exes, carnal desires, sobriety, fuck-ups, politicians, porta-potties, and aging.
Porta-potties.
So we're covering it all.
Really, just the range.
The
range of it all.
I can promise you, I will not read this book.
Yes.
But we can talk about it. He does share some interesting stories.
He does.
As we mentioned, the getting so high that he listened to the same Janet Jackson song a million times. He also, in the press tour, he talks about what he considers this element of his marriage that has really brought he and his wife closer together. And you know where I'm going, and you know how I feel. He claims that the best thing he did for his marriage was downsize their bed from a king to a queen.
Blasphemy.
I have never heard anything more absurd. I have never disagreed with anything more strongly than this statement.
Couldn't agree more with you.
He said they were in a king-size bed and it felt like his wife was a football field apart. And what they needed was a queen-size bed so that they could be shoulder to shoulder.
Touching?
Nightmare. Touching, heat, sweating, everything. No.
I always said the secret to a long-lasting marriage is 2 bathrooms.
Yes.
And a king-size bed.
If there was a bigger bed than a king,
we would have it.
King plus, I would have it. If I could fit a California king in my bedroom, I would have it.
Doing it.
We have a king size bed at our cottage. We had a queen size bed, not for long.
Yeah. Oh no.
And it's hard to get stuff delivered remotely to the north and into the woods. I was like, I don't care what it takes. I don't care what that delivery fee is.
Making this happen.
We're getting a king size bed up there. Sleeping is not an event that is, it's not a team sport. It is an individualized experience that I happen to share a space with you.
Low.
I want my own temperature control. I would love a partition.
Listen,
if somebody invented a bed with the wall that comes up, like when you're in business class and the little wall goes up, I would have that.
People have sleeping divorces for a reason. They're like, I just want my space.
I get it.
Yeah.
As we get older, it's harder to get a deep sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep interruptions from your partner can cause a lot of disruption.
Totally.
So I know he claims that this was it, and now they're shoulder to shoulder and they're cuddled up, and I could not think of anything more heinous.
Guaranteed she doesn't like it.
No, and I'm going to say another thing. I don't think he's known to be somebody who is like freshly showered all the time.
No, you are correct.
So for that reason,
he does look like a man who needs a wipe.
A buff and polish.
Buff and a polish.
Yeah.
Oh
We
my
need a dry
God.
brush. Anyway,
There have been some other kind of revelations from his press tour. I want to talk about his upbringing, but before I do that, the biggest headline I think is about his big decision to switch up his career and sort of the strike he went on in his career to stop doing rom-coms. Did you see this?
I did not see this. Tell me.
Okay, well, this is like, he was known to be the rom-com guy, right? Like no one did it better.
No,
And,
Fool's Gold, 10 Things I Hate About You. He's that one?
Yeah,
Yes.
Wedding Planner,
Wedding Planner,
all
all
of
of
that.
that. Yeah. I love those
He
movies.
decided at one point about 20 years ago that he was just like not going to do it anymore. It wasn't fulfilling to him. And he went on strike. They were making offers left and right, production companies coming to
Wow.
him, offering him 10, 15, 20 million dollars for rom-coms. And he said no. And he said 20 months he went without an offer after he turned down all the ones he turned down.
Whoa.
But he knew in his heart like he couldn't go back. And he says, I was good at something I wasn't loving doing, but I was really good at it. But I wasn't loving it. And I knew that there was more for me. I knew there's more to me, and I knew there's more for me. And he held out until they started rolling in. And then look where he won an Oscar and all the things.
Wow.
And you know what? I think not exactly the same, but sort of like you are such a good anchor. Like you are such a good host.
Thank you.
Your whole career, you're the best that ever did it, I think. And I think a lot of people would agree with me. But I also think that there is more for you and there's more to you.
Thank
and
you.
And you have taken a similar path where you're like, no, I'm going to do my own thing.
Do my own thing.
I'm going to make myself vulnerable. I'm going to do a brave thing. And that's what you're doing. And I'm so grateful to be doing it with you.
I love you. I'm dying because I'm uncomfortable with any kind of flattery.
Sorry.
But I appreciate that comparison. Thank you. And I guess it is not for me, but if I look at it for Matthew, it is that, trusting your instincts and the timing of your life, right? Because he did take that break. I did take some time before we decided we wanted to do this. And that is, that's a really... It's like it comes from an intuitive place. And I think that's a really great way to operate.
And a deep belief of just knowing that that it's all going to work out. And if you're not standing by yourself, for yourself, behind yourself, no one else will do it. And he said, I had to make that declaration and I couldn't back down. Like I had to just keep forging ahead. And then people, once they realized I wasn't playing,
right,
they were like, okay, well, let's see what he's got.
And then look
at it now.
Look at what he's
Oscar
done.
winning and all the things. But there's some interesting tidbits from his childhood and the way that he was parented, which I wanted to dig into just for a hot second.
Please do.
As a young boy, his parents instilled in him a ton of self-belief, which I think rings through into what we were just talking about, which is self-belief of I'm meant for more and I'm going to hold out. But his mother hung a framed photo of him at 7 years old in a cowboy hat holding a Little Mr. Texas trophy, telling him that he won the Little Mr. Texas competition. Decades later, he found out, no. He was the runner-up. But his mother told him for his whole life that he was Little Mr. Texas. And he said the difference in believing you're a winner versus a runner-up can transform a life. And he said, hell man, would I be sitting here right now if I thought I was just the runner-up? Probably not.
That is such a great story.
Such a great story.
That is such a great story.
But I'm like, are we doing that? Like, would you do that? Like, tell B she won the race if she didn't?
No.
I think it's kind of strange.
Remember I told you B asked me if she could sing really well, like this little girl she met who could sing. Like, this girl is like, she performs in theater.
Yeah.
And B said, can I sing as well as her? I said, no, like you can't. And then she started to sing, and then she heard herself and she started to laugh.
Right.
And I said, you're good at the things you're great at. Singing it's not my thing either.
Right.
So that's okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I do instill the belief in my kids they can do anything.
Of course.
And I tell them every day that they are the best kids on planet Earth, and don't let anybody tell you different. You're the best kid in the world.
Yes.
But no, I'm not going to lie and say you won something you didn't win.
For his whole life, he thought he won this whole competition.
I would love to see the sliding doors moment, what his life looks like if he did believe he was the runner-up his whole life.
I know it's
what a fascinating man.
He said in his house, guard your ears if you need to, if you're prudish. Okay. He says in his house you could say cunt, but you couldn't say can't.
Oh my God.
So weird.
So weird.
But I love it. And actually he's on the cover of People magazine this week with his son Levi, who is entering into the acting world. And you can see, I watched a couple of interviews with them together, like on social media from People magazine, and you can definitely see there are some threads and parallels there between Matthew and his son, and lovable weirdos, all of them.
Lovable weirdos.
Yeah.
He does have a new project coming out, The Lost Bus, coming to Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
The true life disaster thriller. So there he is out there working.
In a movie.
I love it though. I love that he's, continuing to stay true to the projects he wants to do.
Yes.
Good for Matthew McConaughey, our lovable weirdo.
Our lovable weirdo. Exactly.
Well, you are lovable. Definitely not a weirdo. I have
debatable.
And this was fun. As always.
Fun. And we'll see you next week.
We will. Bye.